Similar to the rest of y'all, I saw the videos of Charlie Kirk being tragically shot and murdered today. And it's wild how someone that you've never met before can make you feel such strong emotions. I just feel a level of heartbreak for his family, his wife, and his 2 kids, and all of those that have grown to know and love Charlie. And as I've seen the posts flood in, I just felt so strongly that I had to address something that I've seen, and specifically regarding the way that I've seen that this is, by some people, starting to get spun into a political war. And that breaks my heart to see, because this is so much bigger than that. I've seen people on the left that have made light of this murder and even delighted in it to some extent, and took pleasure in the actions that happened today. I've seen it goes both ways. I've seen people on the right that have demonized the left and Democrats and attacked and blamed them for the situation. And it just is so evident that this isn't a political war. This is an attack on faith. And Ephesians 6 tells us that in this world, we don't solely wrestle with flesh and blood, but with the powers and principalities that are able to move here on earth and do move here on earth. And it's just such a reminder that there's an enemy out there who delights in us feeling misfortune, and he delights in us feeling sorrowful and angry with one another, and he loves to see us bitter and hostile towards each other. It's what he delights in. And in this time, I think it's just so important for us to remind ourselves that we're called to be imitators of Christ. And what that looks like is, although myself, whenever I saw the people making light of the situation, I just felt a level of kind of rage and wrath and just angriness like stir up in me. But we are called to imitate Christ, and that means putting that to death and loving these people. And that doesn't just mean tolerating. That means earnestly seeking to be kind towards them, which I understand is so hard to do. And something that I've had to pray for is like, God, give me a heart to be able to show kindness to these people that I disagree with so heavily, and that are willing to make light of such a sorrowful situation. And I just think that's something that we need to be reminded of. And then for those who believe, like, a piece of hope for us is Ephesians 2:7 tells us that God in the coming ages will show us immeasurable grace and kindness towards us in Christ Jesus. And that's where Charlie is right now. I think of Paul in Philippians 1 when he talks about how if it were up to him, he would be away from this world right now. But it's God's plan for him to be here, and he still has a mission here while he is still breathing. And I think for us, man, for the believer or the non-believer, let this be a sign that there's something so much bigger and so much better than this world has to offer. And the only way to this goodness is through Jesus Christ. And to the believer, just be encouraged that you woke up this morning with breath in your lungs, and the ability to go out there and live your life. So live it with obedience and walk in the plan that God has for you. And in doing so, whenever you do eventually get to the point where you reach the other side, you'll be face to face with God, and he'll be able to say to you, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," which is exactly what I'm sure he's saying to Charlie right now.